welcome to the channel. And in today's episode, we are going to be going over the Dirty Bird Concepts Indian Challenger loud leg warmers, 8-inch with custom crash bars for the 2020 to current Indian Challenger motorcycles. We are also going to be talking about the optional components that you can get with these, which are the tweeter pod add-ons for the loud lower 8-inch and their loud 8-inch speaker grills. As you can see, we have the loud lowers here with the optional tweeter pods. I do not have the optional grills. We are going to give a good in-depth review of these products. Then we are going to do a installation video on these, so that way hopefully it will help you guys make your decision on which, if any, lower fairings that you want to put on your Indian Challenger motorcycle. Let's go ahead and get these custom crash bars unwrapped and let's get a closer look at what's included, what you may need to install these on your Indian Challenger motorcycle. The first part of this video, we are going to discuss the hard lowers themselves. So these, like I said, are the Dirty Bird Indian Challenger loud leg warmer, 8-inch with custom crash bars for your 2020 and current Indian Challengers. So a couple of things about these. Retail price is $1,000. And what you see here is what you get minus this hardware in the middle, which we will discuss here in a little bit. The part number for these hard lowers are DBC-795. These 8-inch lowers are made out of a NYB polymer injection molded in-house by Dirty Bird Concepts here in Phoenix, Arizona. So as they advertise, they are made in the United States. So these will accommodate both an 8-inch speaker or an 8-inch speaker with a 4 1/4 inch depth. It gives you a nice wide range of speakers that you can put in these, and I have 2 different speakers. We will go ahead and test fit in these so you can see them. This is the actual pod itself. So it's super dense. Actually, we're gonna throw it on my little scale here real quick. See, little shipping scale that I use for shipping out my products and packages. So let's get this right on here. So I don't know if you can see this, but it's weighing in at 7 pounds, just shy of 11 ounces. So that's per speaker enclosure itself. So they're definitely not light. They're solid, so you're not gonna get that flex or vibration out of them when you're listening to your tunes while going down the road. The lowers themselves will come with 4 holes here. One in the middle is for the mounting to the crash bar itself, and the other 3 correlate to the end cap. So what you do is when you get these, obviously the bar routes through them, and this cap goes on here to cover up the backside of the bar. So this itself is the custom crash bars. They are 1 1/4 inch crash bars, powder coated with a nice black coating. They are hollow. Well, obviously all crash bars are hollow, but they have the holes in them for wire rounding. This is the mounting hole for the bottom and for the top. As you can see, there is a welded standoff to stand off the bike and give you some clearance. And then here is the center mounting hole for the actual lower itself that will bolt right on here. And this hole itself is where you are going to route the wires once it's on the bike, through your speaker enclosure, out through here, and then up to your bike, so that way you can get your wires concealed. You won't see them on either side. And you're gonna have these. These are a speaker ring. Essentially, it's made out of the same NYB polymer material, injection molded. What happens here is you take your 8-inch speaker, it fits nice inside of here, sits below this lip. So that way, once you secure this in between the speaker and its enclosure itself, at the side profile, you will not see the speaker basket or most likely the grill, depending on which grill you choose, giving it a nice clean fit finish. And like I said, this will get sandwiched between the speaker and the enclosure itself for a nice tight finish. and you will get this painted with your lowers themselves. So in the bag of hardware, you're gonna have 2 Adele clamps. These are 1 1/4 inch Adele clamps. So what you do is this is going to clamp around the crash bar itself, close tight, and then you're gonna utilize this hole here, which has got a nice little groove. Just like this, it's gonna clamp down tight and hold the bottom of this secure where you need it. For that, you are going to use the long screw. So it'll go down right through here, through that, tighten it up, it'll compress it. So that's the 2 longest screws. Then you're gonna have 2 medium machine bolts. For this center hole, obviously you're gonna use your washer, it's gonna drop down through. We'll go through the crash bar, get bolted into place, and with those 2 screws, your 8-inch lowers will be held nice and tight into place. And lastly, you have the 6 smallest machine screws through the enclosure itself and thread nicely into here with these already done inserts. And there is 4 bolts you are going to have to purchase on your own, unfortunately. I contacted Dirty Bird and they just don't include them with their lowers. So these are the bolts that you have to purchase to install the crash bars to your Indian Challenger motorcycle. These bolts are a M10 by 1.5 millimeter thread. You're going to need a shorter one, which is 35 millimeters. You'll need 2 of them. These will go through the bottom mounts by your foot controls. You'll need a M10 by 1.5 80 millimeter. This is the longer one. This is going to go towards the top of the crash bar, through the crash bar into the frame of the bike. After purchasing your 8-inch lowers and crash bars, these are the only bolts that you will have to purchase to get these installed on your bike. Now let's go ahead and get a set of the lowers bolted to the crash bar so you can have an idea of how it looks bolted together. And then we will discuss the optional tweeter pods, and we will do some test fitting of some speakers in this before we go over to the bike itself and actually do the installation. So let's go ahead and get some tools and get this set up to install. Now that we've kind of gone over the lowers themselves and everything that comes with them, we are going to go ahead and give these a nice little test fit on the crash bars on the bench. Look over them. We're going to do a little test fit with 2 different size speakers, and then we will go ahead and get these thrown on the bike. So first, you got to make sure you put the lower that goes with the corresponding crash bar. So for this example, we are going to be doing the brake side of the bike. So this is going to be the brake side crash bar. The lower mount is the flat plate, and the top is going to be the one with the extension on there. That's why you need 2 different length bolts, because this has to go through there, thread into the bike, and then obviously here I got these bolts by measuring what the factory bolt goes into with the factory lowers and just added the space around to it. So these bolts will give you the same amount of thread into the bike's mounting as the factory does. And these bolts are pretty much darn near identical with 10.9 grade and everything. So these are about as close to OEM style bolts as you're gonna find. I'll try to leave a link where I bought mine, or if you purchase these products through me, I will include them with your audio package. So to begin this installation, we're gonna take our lower enclosure itself, take the longest machine bolt with 1 washer, put it through there. Now what I like to do is you are going to line it up right here, and you should be able to just drop it right on through. At this point, you can take it here. You're gonna take your nut here, and you're just gonna simply go right on there. You can take your 11 millimeter socket with a 4 millimeter Allen, go from the inside, tighten up, and just like that, the top hole is installed. Then we're going to take our Adele clamp, you're going to open it up, and with the enclosure like this, you're going to fish it from the bottom side like this, and you're going to close it up, work your way back here, then take our medium screw, machine bolt, sorry, with another washer, drop it down, and when you drop it down, see if we can, you're gonna work your way through both, keep it closed, then take another bolt nut, Then take your 11 millimeter. You can keep your hand on the backside for now until you're ready to fully clamp it down. Take your 4 millimeter Allen, slap it in here, tighten it down. We are nice and secured to the lower itself, the crash bar. Solid, not going anywhere. Now let's do the end cap that will go on the back of this to keep it nice and clean. It will just literally sit just like this. But the thing you're gonna have to do is when you install these on your bike, you can use a hacksaw or a little grinder, and you're gonna wanna take this bolt flush with this nut. There is a little bit of an indent in this end cap, so you could try wallowing out that a little bit more. I prefer just to go ahead, nick this bolt right off so that it's flush to the nut and give you plenty of clearance on there. So what you're gonna do is you're just going to set this right here. And as you can hopefully see in the video, they line right on up. So take one of your 4 millimeter machine bolts, drop it down in there, loosely tighten it. Don't go all the way down because then it's going to make it even harder to get them all lined up. And obviously a T-handle is not the best for this. I would highly suggest using something smaller, or even what I usually use is a set of Allens on a socket, much lower profile. And obviously it'll be a little bit easier because you'll have this bolted to it. One of these screws, I'm pretty sure it's this bottom one, is a little long, so it doesn't allow you to suck it in, so you might have to double washer it. We will go over that. But as you can see, gives it a nice clean appearance, covers up the back side of that bar, makes it nice and uniform. Once this is painted, it'll look super sleek. Now what you're probably asking at this point is, well, how in the world do I route my wires through here? That part we are going to wait till they're actually on the bike, because I do have a nice little trick that I like to do to get that oval hole right where I want it on these bars, because right now it's roughly right down here. So instead of just hacking away at it, drilling multiple holes, I do have a little trick on how to do that. So that being said, let's go grab some speakers, do a little test fit on this, and see how they look. Now, as I said earlier in the video, these are designed for both an 8-inch speaker and an 8.8. So there is a wide variety of speakers that you can put in these enclosures, especially with that 4 1/4 inch mounting depth. I'm just going to use these two examples because that's what I currently have here at the shop. So like I said, this is just for example. I'm not telling you to go out and buy these speakers. It's just simply what I have. So right here is a PRV 8 MR 500 CFNDY4. This is their carbon fiber 8-inch mid-range driver. Nice neodymium magnets on there. And this is also a very familiar speaker that I've used a handful of times. This is the Diamond Audio MP series. This is their 8-inch speaker. So MP84. So this is just going to give you a nice difference in mounting depth and obviously magnet width themselves. So as I stated earlier, this is the ring that they send with it. So what you can do, what you're going to do, is you're going to drop your speaker down in it. So what's also nice about this is going to give you a little bit more of a mounting depth as it raises the speaker up. But as you can see, it gives a nice flush appearance. So that way when you drop a grill down in here, it should sit nice and flush to the top of this. So it covers everything up. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to drop this simply in here. And then as you can see, plenty of clearance. Nice. Let's see if we can get this nice side profile without dropping the speaker. Obviously that'll be sandwiched in there. It gives you a nice clean look to that. So now you're not staring at the side of the basket with the grill on there. Be nice and hidden and super clean flush look. So let's take this 8-inch mid driver out. And let's throw the diamond in here. So the diamond's a little bit tighter of a fit as the basket's a little bit wider, but overall it still fits right on in there. The same nice flush appearance here, a little bit extra mounting depth to it. You can take this, Drops right on in there. So, nice side profile. Like I said, once that's bolted in there, it'll be a nice tight finish. And honestly, you have plenty of room in there for wiring, for a crossover and everything. So, nice, clean, flush. Then you'll just pop this right on out. So that's just 2 speakers, like I said, that were here. I'm not recommending you buy either one. I'm just simply, they were here, so I wanted to go ahead and give them a test fit. All right, now let's go ahead and grab the tweeter pods that are optional with these, put the speakers away and get those on over here and kind of see how they fit and finish, and have 2 different tweeters that I like to use commonly. So we'll go ahead and grab those and give that a view. Now let's discuss the optional add-on tweeter pods for these 8-inch lowers from Dirty Birds. These also are made out of the same NYD polymer material. They are sold in a set, and they're also offered in 2 different sizes. These ones I opted for the smaller ones, which are for a 25mm tweeter. They also offer a larger version, which is for a 35mm tweeter. The part number for these is DBC262, and these retail for $100 a pair. With these, they are labeled, I don't know if you can see it here, they are labeled on the inside left and right. So for this example, we have the right lower here on its crash bar. These are going to simply go right about here in this vicinity. They got 3 mounting points, so what you'll have to do is you'll have to test fit these, mark those holes, and get them bolted right on up to give a nice tight finish. And you're obviously going to have to make a hole in the lower to fish your wires on through. I have here 2 different tweeter examples that I like to use. Like I said, this isn't me selling you on either one. These are just 2 that I like to stock and offer myself. So this one here is the Diamond Audio M1 SRT high output short throat tweeter. It's a 1-inch tweeter with a threaded collet here. So this here is the Hertz Audio ST25 tweeter. This is the non-Neo version. So it's also a 1-inch compression drive tweeter with the same locking collets on it. Obviously you're going to take this, you're going to load it from the back side, just like this. And you're simply just going to screw on your collet here. So you're not going to go too far because you're going to want to tighten up your inside. But as you can see, yeah, this is the fun part. There we go. As you can see, you still have plenty of room here. Obviously, you're going to want to rotate this to get easy access to your wires. You have room in there. It's a tight fit, but a ST25 will fit in here. You can obviously loosen this collet up and bring it out just a little bit further to give you more clearance in there. Next, we're going to go ahead and give the M1 SRT a test fit. So same thing, just drop it in from the back side. Go ahead and screw, and you can make your fine-tune adjustments from the back side. And with the Diamond being a shorter version and using spade terminals, you got a little bit more room to make your wire connections. You can solder them here, push your wire through into your crossover. But again, great option for adding a external compression style tweeter, horn tweeter. And then, like I said, this would fit right here. Give you a nice fit and finish on there. Now the last thing, Dirty Bird does offer a speaker grill for this. I unfortunately do not have one in stock. I have not purchased one. I want to use different grills anyways. The part number for those grills are going to be DBC-264. The grills are also made out of the same material, a NYB polymer material. They kind of look a little bit like this. They go over, and they're going to have a pressed grill material that goes in here. They offer it both in chrome and black mesh. It's going to come with the ring, the grill, and the hardware to install it over your speaker. Give it a nice clean finish. It's going to be the same unfinished black material, which is going to have to be painted. So those retail for $195 for the set. Hopefully I can get a set in and we can redo this video to show you guys that as well. All right, we've concluded the overview and bench test fitting of these lowers. One thing I do want to specify, and I forgot to mention earlier, is that None of these products here come painted. Everything from Dirty Bird, as far as these are concerned, come unpainted as you see them in this black finish, and they do not offer paint due to different manufacturers. Paint codes are harder to match, so they don't even take the risk of doing this, so they just offer them unpainted, so we don't have to have the risk of getting them color matched or getting damaged in shipping. So if you purchase these, just be aware you're going to find a local painter to get them painted. So with the conclusion of the overview and review of these, let's go ahead and get them installed on the bike, show you some tricks and tips that I use to get them on there, and kind of how they look, so that way you know what you're getting into when you buy these for your Indian Challenger. Let's go ahead.